Welcome to the carousel. I am John. With me I have Bob and Randy.
Bob and Randy.
Bob and Randy.
That's my new name.
I don't. Or there's a Bob here and we don't know about it.
My brother is Bob.
Oh, well, there you go. And we also have Jake.
We now live in a world where there is a distinct possibility that Talia al Ghul is fucking Tyler Durden. We're all fucked. I don't know what we're gonna do.
He had to explain this one to me before we started.
It's because the actress who played Talia al Ghul in Dark Knight Rises is supposedly having an affair with Brad Pitt.
Okay.
That's why he's getting divorced. No? All right.
All right.
I mean, if it's
Marion Cotillard.
if it's fair, what's the issue? I'm sorry, that's a far stretch, isn't it? Because you don't say the words "a fair" in a sentence. You just say the word, and they aren't anyway. So
We are off to a great start.
Yeah. So this is the carousel where we talk comics, movies, games, mostly games, movies. But anyway, we always like starting out talking about news and releases. So with that, Jake, why don't you tell us about the releases? And release all over everyone's face.
Yes, I will release my essence onto the internet. It's a sort of weird couple of weeks coming up here. Sort of the biggest sort of cross-platform thing that's coming out is Mafia 3. It's out on October 7th. It's pretty much everything. PS4, the Boner, PC. Same day, Gears of War. Gears of War 4, that is. It's on Xbox One and the PC. I haven't looked into it enough to know whether it's one of those cross-buy ones. I would bet it would be. If they're dropping that for Forza,
it is first
probably
party
doing it for Gears.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I was playing Gears of War 3 the last 2 weeks, and I think it's kind of talked me out of picking this one up because going back to him, I went, oh yeah, I really don't like those games too much. But anyway, and then on the 7th as well, you got Paper Mario Color Splash for Wii U, which is the first thing that's come out for Wii U that makes me think I might actually kind of want one.
I was going to say, do either of you even have a Wii U? John might.
I do.
Yeah.
It is my...
Paper Mario... I'm sorry, not Paper Mario. Mario Maker looked cool, but, I'm more interested in watching other people get tortured on that. Splatoon, okay, whatever. There's no Metroid yet. Like, John and I were talking before the cast, like, I've realized that I kind of really don't like Zelda games anymore, which is nothing against the game. They're just, they've fallen off what I want to play.
I am curious about the new one that'll eventually come out, but, who knows?
It looks kind of survivally, crafty, kind of, I don't know.
I haven't played one, or finished one since Majora's Mask, so it's been a while.
Man, that has been a while.
None of the newer ones really appealed to me.
I tried most of them. You make it 2-3 dungeons in and go, I can live without this for a little bit, and then you just never go back to it.
Yeah. I would like one to kind of return to the format of the original Zelda game or Zelda 2 or something.
Zelda 2 is still my favorite one out of the series. So
like
I'm
top
probably
down and everything?
Yeah, either or. Top down or the sideways. Zelda 2 I really like because I think it's weird.
Yeah.
And kind of innovative for its time, but...
And some rad music. Especially that dungeon, the do-do-do-do-do-do. Anyway, so moving on to October 11th, this one's a little weird, and I'm not sure I have my head entirely wrapped around it yet, but you have Rise of the Tomb Raider coming out, and there's multiple versions. There's a 20-year celebration version that appears to be kind of a Game of the Year thing that's coming out for PS4 and PC.
Did that come out 20 years ago?
The original? Probably.
Yeah, dang.
96? Yeah, PlayStation 1, yeah.
I guess it could have, yeah.
So that seems like a Game of the Year edition. It's got all your DLC and stuff. And then the newest DLC that will be coming out is called Rise of the Tomb Raider Blood Ties, and that's going to be out on all those systems. But it doesn't look like there's a 20-year Game of the Year thing on the Boner. I don't know. at any rate, what's cool about it is you guys may remember that the PlayStation VR comes out 2 days later, and the PS4 version allows you to go through that Blood Ties DLC in VR. And it's just, I guess it's just you sort of like, you're going back to Lara's childhood home, and it looks like it's sort of fallen into disrepair and stuff. So, like, your house is kind of a tomb you're raiding. So that's cool. It's not going to get me to buy a PSVR, but we'll get to that in a second.
The tomb of her childhood.
Yeah, this time, tomb is you.
Yeah, it's a big metaphor.
The tomb in my room.
The loss of innocence.
Blood pact. What's it called?
Blood Ties.
Blood ties.
I mean, that wouldn't functionally work, right? I mean, if you tried to tie blood because it's liquid.
You'd have to clot it up. Or, like, if you tied blood sausages, that's kind of... That's blood ties, right?
Oh, gotcha. So it's like a blood... So it's a Lara Croft blood sausage. Got it.
Yep.
Right, or a blood pudding. I think she's British. So
All the things that she kills, she collects their blood. Because she's a scientist.
I
And
thought blood pudding was German.
there's probably multiple cultures that do it.
I don't know, you got to find something to do with the stuff that leaks out of animals,
Blood's perfectly good stuff, full of nutrition. Just, don't get it near me.
We got another re-release on the 11th. It's Metal Gear 5: The Definitive Experience. I am a bastard and forgot to look up what this actually is. It's coming out on the PS4 and the Xbox One, and I am a jerk. I must have thought, oh yeah, that's all the DLC for that when I put it on the list here, but it hasn't had any DLC, right?
I don't think so.
I'm a jerk.
I don't know.
You want to look that up for me while I go on this PSVR stuff?
Okay.
Okay, so PlayStation VR is coming out on the 13th, and it's got a handful of games coming out with it. It's got Drive Club VR, which seems like it'd be a good fit. Batman Arkham VR, which kind of, from what I've seen, looks like a tech demo. And then Harmonic Music VR, which is kind of just a visualizer, like an old Winamp visualizer.
Okay, so people are going to get high and strap that thing on.
Which might be pretty cool. Like, you can take, you can use the Move controllers to, like, make drawings or whatever, that then those will pulsate with the frequency as well. I hope they're not charging for that game.
Oh, man. So how many teenagers are just going to be high with a mask on and headphones on and two wands just flailing around?
Yeah, one, could you imagine, like, if you're paranoid to start with because you're stoned, and now you're filling your entire field of view and covering your ears so like you don't know if anyone's approaching you, or you can't hear
like
anybody.
Your mom.
And she walks up and someone just grabs you, and you're,
Yeah. And you got two clubs in your hands, man. This is gonna cost lives, I think.
We have to put a tarp down. Like, yeah.
Probably. Yeah, make sure that you're in the middle of at least a queen-size bed. Because if you get freaked out, you might fall down the stairs or something, so... you gotta...
So what's the answer on this extra stuff on Metal Gear?
Okay, so Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience, comes with all the pre-DLC and post-DLC. So this includes Ground Zeroes, the Phantom Pain, it includes extra missions for Ground Zeroes, and then it includes a fuck ton of items for the Phantom Pain, and evidently some stuff for Metal Gear Online, which I didn't know was a thing.
Okay, that makes more sense. Oh, and by the way, I'm just going to toss the Jake is full of shit in here that I screwed up when I was talking about the, was it Metal Gear Survive? Or whatever. It does not take place during Metal Gear 5. It takes place after Metal Gear Phantom Pains. So it's back in the 80s.
On the moon.
Yes, on in some sort of temporal rift, yes.
So from what I see on this Phantom Pain is it doesn't include the ability to turn off the thing where other people raid you, so I will never play it. So
yeah, I guess the only way to sort of, you don't get a ton. We're sort of getting derailed here, but the thing about Metal Gear 5 is like I was building new platforms and stuff and getting soldiers and whatnot, and really once I researched the first couple of guns that I liked, I don't really use anything else, so I'm not sure you need to do any of that, really. They're going to push you to do it because they want to get, they want insurance money out of you. And a real nice show here, Snake. It'd be a shame if something happened to it, but yeah, I don't think you need to get started with that stuff. And then last we got Valkyrie for Oculus, which Hannah over at TVGP played when we were at PAX. He thought it was very cool. He loved it. But, this PlayStation VR, the Oculus, you're looking at $500 at least for either of them.
Yeah. I can get an Xbone.
Oh, even the VR that people are calling cheap, or the most affordable version. I think the helmet is $400, right, John?
For the PlayStation VR, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that doesn't come with the camera, which you need, so that's another $50-$60. And then if you don't have Move controllers laying around, you got to buy 2 of those, unless you want to do everything with the controller. So now you're back up to $625.
See, but it uses the old Move controllers, so if you have those, which I have 2 Move controllers because I'm a tool, and all I would need is the camera, which is another $60. But they have they had some package where you could get everything together and get it, but I don't know. You're still talking about, and this is predicated on the fact that you already own a PS4. We're talking about like an $850 investment. I mean, that's every single one of these VR things, though, right? Like, I mean, if you get either the PC ones, it's assuming that you have $1,000 to $2,000 PC, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody's talking about this PSVR, like, well, it's the affordable one, and that's the one I think I'm going to get. Like, everyone seems to be forgetting this is still, like, you're $750 sunk into this now, buddy.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's, like, if you get one for the PC, then you're $2,000 to $3,000 sunk into it. So it's still the more affordable one, but none of it's affordable.
Yeah. What I'm saying is all of these are on the order of multiple car payments for your average person.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Calling them cheap at all is sort of like...
I'm saying this,
and I have an apartment rent.
Like, I said this, and I have no plans for buying any of it. Like... after I build my computer, probably sometime next year, then I might start thinking about a VR system, and I'll probably
you just need to go eat lunch at Taco Bell every day, and then you might win one.
I mean, that's a win-win, right?
I get Taco Bell, I lose lots of money to lunch.
Yeah. Also, lots of money to plumbing issues in your house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, at that point, you just dig a hole. You just go outside.
I mean, at a certain point, my rectum's just going to bleed every day. So
it's not even going to be discrete dumps. It's just going to be one constant stream.
Oh, Jesus.
On that note, on October 10th, there's a limited release of Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders.
So this is the Batman cartoon that actually has Adam West and Burt Ward, is that his name?
Burt Ward and Julie Newmar, yes.
Yeah.
Are they like bringing back the kind of campy...
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it like a spiritual successor to the 60s one, or is it an actual successor?
I think it's just a sort of... We want to do this while these guys are still around, so this is just an animated version of maybe, a 2 to 3 episode arc of the TV show.
Sure. Original or an adaptation?
I think
it's new content. Yeah.
Cool.
So that's not out on DVD till November 1st. The old Adam West Batman is not like, I love Adam West, but that's not that ain't my Batman. So I don't know that I'll be picking
Hashtag not my Batman.
Yeah. Bat Lives Matter.
No. Bad. We don't want that flack. Don't write it in Slack.
Wow, nice. You're spitting rhymes, son. And then for TV, I just have 2 things for Netflix here. One is Luke Cage. It's the night before Cagemas.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is out tomorrow, the 30th, which means
Sweet
that
Christmas.
By the time you hear this, if you're listening to the cast, it's probably up. So pause this, go watch all of Luke Cage, and then come back. No, seriously, we will be here. Like, you got 2 weeks to listen to this episode until the next one's out. Go fucking watch Luke Cage.
I took tomorrow off to watch it, so I'm gonna live tweet all the episode
Did you
plot
really?
lines. No, I'm not. Well, I did take tomorrow off, but I'm not gonna live tweet like spoilers.
My
it wasn't
boss-
a marathon Luke Cage.
My boss told me today that I can work from home tomorrow, and the reason is because I'm covering for somebody else who's out. So like I'm gonna have extra work to do, and I'll be working from home, so it's gonna be the worst. It's gonna be the longest day.
No.
Because I'm gonna have Netflix on, but I can't watch the thing, like, because I can't do that. But anyway, and then on the 4th on Netflix, American Horror Story Season 5 comes out. We are talking a year plus old, but I've really been liking this American Horror Story series, so I'm looking forward to that.
And
So that's everything. Go ahead.
Oh no, that isn't before next cast. Never mind. I was about to say I'm pretty sure the new season of Black Mirror comes out before next cast, but I think it's after.
I really like that show, man.
I gave it a second chance, and
Did
aside,
you like it anymore?
I still hate the first episode. I fucking love the rest of the series.
What was the last one? The last one in season 3 was it Christmas something?
Oh yeah, White Christmas.
Oh, the one with John Hamm.
Yeah.
I thought I was done with the series, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and watch the ones I liked. And then it was like, hey, buddy, you didn't finish this series. You got one left. And I was, nice.
Yeah.
And so I watched the John Hamm one. And God damn, that show was great.
Yeah.
Can we all just take a minute to appreciate John Hamm?
I would gladly accept his ham. That is a good looking dude. Holy Christ.
He's real good at comedy too. I love when he shows
He
up
is,
in
man.
comedy
He's
stuff.
awesome on SNL.
Yeah.
And 30 Rock. He was great in 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a couple episodes of it.
So that's all our releases. So you want to take away these free games, John?
Free games. Oh yeah, right.
Sorry, quote free end quote games.
I already forgot we were talking about that. So
Free
for
to play.
$60 a year in October for PlayStation Plus, you will be getting Resident Evil. What
It's
I-
the remake.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's the I want to say the GameCube remake that they've now ported and dressed up a little.
Oh, okay.
I was watching the trailer for it and I was like, I saw it was on the list. And I was like, oh cool. I haven't touched the game in forever. Like I could go back to that. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh right, that control scheme is 20 years old and fixed cameras and you fight a giant snake and I didn't like the puzzles. Like I loved it then. I don't know that I want to go back to it. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of old games like that.
So, Transformers Devastation will be one of the games, which is kind of surprising because I wouldn't think that game would have a mass appeal. But
I'll pick it up. These are the Bayonetta guys, right?
yeah, it's a good, it's a good basic beat 'em up that looks like the '80s cartoon. So, although to be fair, the Transformer designs are taken from one of the more recent incarnations of the toy lines. Which is why everyone's not quite right, but you get to be Optimus and Bumblebee and Grimlock and Wheeljack. Or no, you don't get to be Bumblebee. Bumblebee's not in it, is he? I don't know.
You're
Fuck if I
asking the
know.
wrong guy. Because
This is your deal, man.
It's an
I
alright
don't-
game. I didn't beat it.
I don't own it yet, and I can name probably 3 Transformers.
Hmm.
And one
Yeah,
of them is probably like a wrestler instead, and I just got the name screwed up.
Well, there's a weapon crafting system in it, so there's that.
Oh, good. Okay.
So then,
Touch before my son.
so then, Mad Riders for PS3. I have no fucking clue what that is.
I looked this up and then forgot what it was.
From Dust for PS3. That I think is a game I was at one point interested in.
The God game, where you're on the island.
Oh,
the tribesman kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I was really curious about that a long time ago, but I never
Yeah.
played it.
It's an
That
old
seems
game
like a perfect one for PS Plus.
Yeah, if only it wasn't on PS3. Because
Oh God, that's right, because they're not backward compa- Oh fuck.
yeah,
Ah,
and
Okay,
then,
so Mad Riders is it appears to be an ATV racing game. Could or could not be extreme.
yeah, with Mountain Dew branding all over the place.
man, I did no research on any of this. So, Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth for PS Vita.
I didn't even look. They're Vita games. Mm.
And then Actual Sunlight for Vita. So hopefully those are good games that I will give a chance to. Or not, because I have too much other shit to do. So, for the X-Bone.
Let's get boned.
Yeah. From October 1st to the 31st, you can get Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings.
Super Mega Baseball.
I hope that's not some weird, like, rape sex joke.
I think it's one of those, I think it's a real sort of Japanesey baseball sim.
Gotcha.
Like where you're a manager and you pick players and shit?
No. God, now I can't find it.
We're just going to run through the rest of this list.
Yeah. Plow through it.
The Escapists will be available from October 16th to November 15th. MX versus ATV Reflex will be available from October 1st through the 15th. And then I Am Alive, which that one I actually want to play, will be available from October 16th through the 31st.
I have that. I Am Alive. I didn't love it. It was a lot of sort of climbing bridges. But yeah, I'm ready to go back to it.
You know, it's free-ish, and I recently got, Xbox Live again, so may as well.
So yeah, Super Mega Baseball is sort of a goofy kind of Wii sports-looking style game.
Yeah.
But just looks like, your regular baseball sim, so... Yeah, I'll try that. That actually looks kind of fun.
So now I want to run through some Kickstarters that have come up. There are actually a lot of good looking Kickstarters in my opinion that are around. So the first one is called Blubberbusters. This is probably not going to meet its goal. Like, it's at $54,000 out of its $340,000 goal. It's got 13 days left.
The hell is this?
This is a crazy side-scrolling shooter, right? It looks it looks really cool. Like, the animation in it is super good. The team consists of a bunch of industry vets, a lot of people who worked on, just to list a few of their games, like Darksiders 2, League of Legends, Dark Souls. Oh no, that's his favorite. My bad. But it's a bunch of ex-Riot Games people, basically.
It doesn't... I don't love the art, but man, when it's like... If you're on the fence, just make sure you run the trailer, because that animation, like... If you're on the fence about the art, that animation makes up for it, because, it looks good.
The music's also going to be by the guy who did the Risk of Rain and Deadbolt soundtracks.
Oh, done.
So... $15 gets you the game. They have a downloadable prototype you can play. There's kind of some neat things. Like, you gotta kind of click Show Me More whenever you're looking at the Kickstarter, but if you scroll down a ways, you'll find these 3D character things you can rotate around that are kind of neat. But it's a game...
Is that the one you can download something they're calling a prototype?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Like, this game looks like it's pretty far along when you watch their trailer, and the animation looks really good, and they're going for, like, a super fast 2D shooter kind of thing. I get the impression they're going to do levels. I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. Go check it out. The next Kickstarter that came out is one that is kind of close to my heart, and unfortunately is probably a pretty big gamble, and it's called Code Hardcore. It is a 2D mech battle game that will have single player. It will have customizable mechs. They are trying to represent, like, all versions of mecha that they can in it.
It's got mechs to the max.
Yeah, this is let's see. They've already met their goal, so I mean, you could probably
their goal.
They've mech'd their goal. But this game has really good looking animation too. The reason I say it's a gamble is it's a team of kids, or people who look like kids, at least to me, from China. They're...
Wait, are these the characters or developers?
What are you talking about?
The people that look like kids.
The people that look like kids are the developers.
Okay.
Like at the bottom of the... I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in here. This is a huge fucking list on this damn thing. Yeah, they're near the bottom. Like, they all look like they're in their early 20s kind of thing. which makes me nervous about it ever actually happening, but, you know, it's another $15 game. They got a lot of Gundam design-looking stuff in it. They got a lot of MechWarrior design-looking stuff, a lot of front mission. Like, it looks like a really cool thing that, it looks like they, and, like, to be fair, like, if you scroll through their Kickstarter, they have a, like, you know, a little wheel breakdown on where the money's going to go, and it looks like they got their shit planned out. So it's just going to be a matter of whether they can finish their job and release it, you know.
Yep.
I love the caption on one of the pictures is 3D like animation. What? I don't even know what that means.
It's a cool looking trailer. If you like mechs like me, then go check it out. But I think they went a little bit too Kickstarter crazy on the reward tiers, and I'm worried that might destroy them as well. Because, like, one of them's like, we'll give you a toy of the mech, of one of the mechs from the game or something like that. And it's like, you guys are probably promising a bit too much. But some of them, I guess, have some industry experience. But, I don't know.
Well, and it has, quote unquote, one of its features is, quote, ultimate skill, unquote. So, I mean,
that has to be a bad translation.
Yeah, they're very...
You're purchasing ultimate skill.
Like, if you watch
$15.
If you watch the video, half the video's like Chinese or something, you know, Cantonese or Mandarin. I'm not familiar enough with the languages to identify, but so continuing onward, another crowdfunding thing was announced, and that is Wasteland 3. I really wish Inxile, I always want to say In Exile, but it's INXILE. I really wish they had waited to release Torment, because they already have 2 Kickstarter games in development, and I know they have 2 studios now, but it still doesn't sit well with me, right? So this
What's
is
Torment?
Torment, Tides of Numenera. That's a RPG they kickstarted a couple years ago. It's going to be due out. It was supposed to be due out late this year, but it got pushed back to February.
So The Last Guardian is coming out before it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it hasn't been in
That's
development
embarrassing.
as long as Last Guardian.
Well, but you kickstarted the Wasteland 2. I assume this is the same team, and you were exceedingly happy with what you got out of it.
I'm pretty happy with Wasteland 2. I'm just worried they've bitten off more than they can chew. But
well, you know, don't get worried until they give you a reason to, I guess.
But like, they gave me a I guess I'm technically not supposed to talk about this, but I don't care. They gave me
breaking an NDA here?
Probably a little bit.
Well, maybe don't do that.
I don't.
Maybe get around the NDA.
Let's just say they gave me a preview of their Fig page. They're launching it on Fig instead of Kickstarter, so they're going to have investment options. And Fig finally cleared their shit with the U.S. government, so they can officially do this now.
Okay.
And so, like, the shit on their little preview thing on Fig looks amazing. Like, they're looking to get $2.75 million to fund this thing. They have already gotten over $1 million from investors. The actual Fig launches October 5th. Like, that's when it will be open to the general public. So basically, I guess what they did is they opened it up to big investors. Now they're opening it up to their previous backers for investment. And then on October 5th...
you sure about that? Did Fig fundamentally change how they work, or am I thinking of a different site? Because my understanding was, if you're an approved investor, and like you can demonstrate that you have, like, you know, 25K or 50K, or I don't know what that level is, but it's a large amount of money. If you can demonstrate that you have that to invest, you go into the investor category, and you can actually invest in these games and make money. For everybody else, I've always understood this is just Kickstarter. It's exactly like Kickstarter. You don't get to make any money off of this. You just get what you paid for at the level you contributed at. Is that different now?
Maybe so. I haven't studied it too much. I thought everyone was supposed to be able to do it. Like, if you click on their invest link for this thing, it looks like you can invest your basic unit of investment is $1,000, and the maximum that you can invest into it is something like 2.25 million.
Okay, maybe that was it. Because I mean, your average gamer,
right?
You know, if you're going from $15 to $25 to drop on Wasteland, but you have $1,000 to throw into it, like, I maybe they lowered that number from what it used to be, or maybe I just saw that number and went, I'm never doing that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, well maybe not. But the game looks gorgeous. It's going to be taking place in Colorado. This is all stuff I learned from Polygon, so it's really just the link to this thing that I think was supposed to be NDA. But like the screenshots they put on here are fucking gorgeous. Evidently they found some guys who did some sort of thing to make like BioShock Infinite and Fallout 4 isometric games in their same engines.
Wow.
So they got those guys basically to help them out. So while it's still going to be an isometric game for conversations, their intent is to have it zoom in. They're going to add some sort of co-op functionality to it, and it's evidently going to be like you can do different stuff at the same time in the world while co-oping. So I guess it's probably going to be along the lines of Divinity Original Sin in terms of how that functions. Although you're supposed to be able to play the game without each other too and get back to it and still kind of affect each other. They gave a couple examples that I don't remember, but I mean it's you know, I loved Wasteland 2. This looks like it's probably going to be pretty cool.
I get it because it's in Colorado.
It is. Well, and that's going to be part of the survival thing, is that it'll be in sub-zero temps. So you're going to be Team November, and evidently they're going to have a Rangers waste building type thing that's supposed to be a big part of it. But
oh, good, crafting, building. That was all the stuff I loved in Fallout 4. So yeah, I'm going to jump at this one.
I really doubt they're going to put crafting in it. Like, they didn't have crafting in the last one. Like, the way they're running this game, like, it sounds like they're shooting for, like, a $12 million budget overall. Like, they are having
That's real. That's, like, I don't know that that's XCOM level, but that's a lot of money for an isometric game.
Actually, maybe I'm getting this stuff. Hold on, let me think. Because they said they made... Oh, that's right. They said they made $12 million off of Wasteland 2 in profit. So,
that sounds... Okay. That sounds more like... Yeah. Okay.
But what they're going for on this is they are going to use some of the profit money they made from Wasteland 2. They're going to use the FIG money. They're also getting more funding from a publisher. And I think that adds up to like 6 or 8 million or something like that. So they're going to have a lot bigger budget for this one than they did the last one too. Some of the stuff they're talking about doing sounds like... I don't know. Hopefully they have their scope of work figured out. And realistically, these would be the guys that would be, because Brian Fargo used to run Interplay, you know. But
and he's done this very... I mean, again, Wasteland 2.
Yeah. Well, and I would feel better, again, if Torment had come out or if Bard's Tale had come out. But, you know, because, like, if I back this will be the third Kickstarter I backed with this guy's, or actually the fourth one, and only one of those products will have come out. So it kind of feels like, here, just take more money, even though you've only given me 1 out of 4 things. So for me, it feels weird considering this. But realistically, I probably am not going to have any money because I'm going to be really broke through all of October. So
yeah, I didn't think I didn't realize. I thought Wasteland 2 was the only one he ever kickstarted. I didn't realize he had 2 that fell apart.
Yeah, well, they haven't fallen apart. They just aren't fucking out. Like, Torment is going to be out next February. I have no doubt about that. And then Bard's Tale has no release date. I think it's due out sometime in 2017 or 2018. They released a trailer for it, which looks fine. I say a trailer. It's more like an in-game demo. Like, they don't show any combat or anything. But I'm skeptical at their progress on it. But they have 2 studios now, so one of the studios is working on Bard's Tale and the other's doing this, so I don't know. Anyway, it's there. It's about to release. Maybe the trailer will blow everyone away, but let's move on and iron some things out.
One quick thing.
Oh.
The Tick Amazon show did get greenlit for a season.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm kind of torn about that pilot, um, even if they do this in a way that I end up not liking, I'm very excited to see where they take this series. So
I am. You know, I'll at least watch episode 2.
yep.
So
Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail your destiny, Randy.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I picked up Rise of Iron. It's the latest Destiny expansion. Came out on Tuesday. I've just been going through it. The campaign's pretty short. I think this is kind of a stopgap one. This is more like House of Wolves. They tend to have a big DLC and then a little DLC and then a big DLC and then a little one. So I think this is one of the smaller ones. I got through the entire campaign in a night. It's only like 3 or 4 missions long.
How much?
Yep.
This is $20, right?
I think 30.
Nah. Okay.
But it has
Did you
a whole new raid.
Did you get your Galahorn yet?
I did.
Okay.
They brought it back, so that's a whole quest chain that I finally finished last night. And then there's lots of new rep to grind and gear to get. So the campaign's short, but there's actually a lot of gameplay in there because I think I'm finally at a high enough light level that I can start doing the raid. I'm gonna have to pug it because none of my friends have the DLC anymore. So it's just me all by myself. I'm looking at you, John.
Wasn't that?
I don't even have it installed.
I mean, if you like Destiny, you'll like the expansion. If you don't like Destiny, you won't like this. I mean, it's more Destiny. It's really.
I mean,
How is this raid? Because I remember, I think it was when Taken King came out, and I was like, all right, I was in a place emotionally. My body was ready. I was, okay, let me see if Destiny. Like, I played the beta, went, okay, this is not my thing. And moved on, never touched it again. But I thought, well, maybe now is the time. And I watched. This word should not be used here, but I watched a quick look of guys doing the raid for that, and they had to split it into 2 parts because it was like 3.5 hours long. How's the raid in this one? Do we know?
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to get in there yet. I just finally got my gear level to a point where I could get into a pug or something like that. So I'll have to report back on that in a couple weeks if I can get in on some of those, hopefully. And I haven't watched any of the look-ins. I do know I was on the just the regular strike playlist. It's kind of like an intermediate difficulty, and we were trying to do the new strike, and I was in a pug, and the strike itself is really easy, but the boss fight's kind of a bitch, and we went at that thing like 6 times and then finally gave up. Just could not
strikes, get it done. In WoW terms, strikes sound like dungeons, and the raids are actually raids. Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
Strike's really more of an extended mission than anything else, but you're not too far off with that analogy. But anyway, it's tough. The new weapons are awesome. There's a new social zone. They have a new social zone. Really, that means it's just a new spot where you can go check your mail and pick up bounties.
Mandatory conversation begins here in the social zone.
Let's see.
Why are you not emoting? This is the social zone.
They have a cool new. I actually really like it. It's called the Forge, and it's a cross between Prison of Elders. John will remember that. And then there was this thing in Taken King called Court of Oryx, where you have these little, basically, they're tickets, whatever. They were called runes in this one, and then you have to activate this public event basically that everybody can join in on. But in the Court of Oryx, anybody could come in at any time. It just stayed open. But the new Forge, you activate it, and then everybody who wants in has to get into this area because it closes itself off after a while. And then from that point, it kind of plays a lot like a Prison of Elders. That's pretty cool. You can get some pretty good gear doing that. You can farm gear pretty quick. They're dropping engrams like candy, man.
They're the candy grams, candy anagrams.
Yeah, they're everywhere. The public events in the new zone. The new zone's on Earth. It's called the Plague Lands.
Wait a minute. Is this split into 2 sections?
On.
I think I've heard of this zone before.
Yep, they call it the Plague Lands, and it's there's just the bounties in there and the public events and the majors and stuff. There's just tons of nice gear that just drops all the time.
You got to go to this monastery, and then there's this, and the other side there's this school, but it's like on a lake. It's crazy. There's ghosts
crazy,
inside.
Man. Mm-hmm.
Like you bring your ghost into the ghost place. Oh,
I forgot all about the Plaguelands. The Plaguelands had Sholomance, didn't it?
Skolomance.
Skolo, whatever.
I said it wrong for 8 years until I went, oh yeah, there's scholars in the building, right?
Skolomancy?
Is this
Yeah.
a WoW thing? Is that what you guys?
Yes.
are
Yeah,
talking
we're
about?
going back. We
Okay.
transitioned real quick to WoW.
Okay, just want to make sure because
That was a vanilla dungeon in WoW.
speaking fucking foreign shit to me at this point.
Did
Yeah,
you,
they were-
you
they were the-
never played it?
Never played WoW.
Alright, no.
Yeah, I'm actually. It's been long enough. I probably could jump back into Destiny now, but I don't have $60 to spend on getting all the shit I've missed out on. So.
You'd have to get Taken King, and then you'd have to get Plagueland. Or not. You'd have to shell out another 30 for Rise of Iron.
Did I? I feel like there was another one I missed. Because the
No,
last one I played.
There's that expansion, the Wrath of the Taken King, that was just before Dataclysm, where there's this data calamity, so they called it a Dataclysm. Those are them. Oh no, I'm sorry. Those are in the works. Those are coming up.
You seem a little irked by the word Plaguelands being used.
Right, and it's funny because Blizzard just ripped off a bunch of Warhammer shit, so I don't know what I'm getting pissed about.
Dude, it all feeds each other. It's an insular community.
It is a pretty generic name. I mean, is it? I mean, WoW could it?
It's an Ouroboros, but it's Ouroboars.
I mean, does
Boy, I
Warcraft
butchered that spelling.
take place on medium Earth or something like that? Or
It's called
It's tepid.
Azeroth.
It's tepid.
oh, okay. Yeah, I don't. What it seemed like there was something specific I wanted to ask you about Destiny, because I know they added those new classes a long time ago. Is they add any new multiplayer shit to it?
They didn't add new classes. They just gave everybody a new spec.
Right. What they still doing the light level thing? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, because the cap, the actual, I don't know. It's a weird way they do this, but the actual cap is the level is 40. Like everybody's level 40, but your gear determines your light level. And I think the max now is 380 or something like that, 375. I'm sitting at 351 right now. Like
Gotcha.
a dork.
Gotcha.
Gotta get that good gear.
Have you gotten Joey or anyone else to hop back in?
Fuck no.
Gotcha.
I'm telling you, man. It's just the Randy show starring Randy.
Man.
I'm gonna have to pug it. I'm gonna get into the Destiny LFG and pug that raid.
Need to make friends with my friend Boston. He still plays a bunch.
I know.
He gave me kind of the same tone too when he was talking about it last.
I might be able to convince Joey, but Kevin's behind. He didn't get the last one. So
Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing is if I got it, I would have to fucking catch up
You'd be
on
out
who knows how
$60,
much content. Yeah.
well, I don't know how much Taken King costs now, but
Well, but
If-
your light level, it's so puny.
If I've only missed out on 2 expansions, and maybe I
I could
am
increase
only
my
out.
light level if I had some friends to play with. I
40
could get
or
on and
50.
we could.
No, I'm talking
rerun
about
Nightfall.
John.
Oh,
Like he just got that little light level just dangling off the front of his character, not impressing anybody.
Mm.
hey, I'm sure his light level is perfectly average for a male his size.
Susie has never complained about my light level before.
Complained about your light level?
Well, and as long as your partner is happy with your light level, that's fine. Like that's what works for you guys, and that's okay.
Anyway, so closing thoughts on that, or ready to move on?
No, like I said, I'm pretty much still. Was doing the gear grind to get to that minimum spot so that I could.
Is that an emote? Do you use that in the social zone, the gear grind?
The gear grind? Oh. No, but you can buy emotes now. I think they introduced that in Taken King where there's this in-game currency you can buy to get emotes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, did you buy any dances?
I don't know. I'm not spending any extra money on Destiny.
They seemed pretty expensive.
And none of it's game affecting. It's all just flavor and animations. It's dances and emotes and things like that. I think you can maybe deck your weapons out and make them look different, but whatever.
Gotcha.
Maybe some shaders. I don't know. Nothing
Okay.
important. No actual gear.
Well, I got Forza
Speaking
Horizon
of
3.
gears, ah, damn it!
You tried.
I was trying to do the segue.
John's the segue guy.
I had it right as he started talking. I'm sorry.
Let's just shift this into overdrive. But
Okay.
So the so I got Forza 3 Ultimate Edition released last Friday. The actual regular version released Tuesday. I didn't get to play a whole lot Friday because it turns out when you don't play a console for a while, it takes like an hour to update. Which, was everyone last generation complained about the PS3 being slow, even though they never played their PS3, so it was like, same deal. But once I did get that installed, I started installing Forza Horizon 3, which, it started and it looked like it was going to go slow, so I'm like, okay, I'll go do something else for a while. So I come back an hour later and it had gone up like 2%. I'm like, what the fuck? I waited another like 20 minutes or so or something, and it still hasn't moved. And so I start Googling around for,
Is it literally building the cars piece by piece in there or something? Or
here's what happened, is the installation froze because the Xbox One is stupid and tried to install and update the game at the same time, decided it couldn't do both, and froze. So
that's what the S in the ones stands for? The Xbox One stupid?
Yes, it does. And evidently this was a problem that started with one of the more recent Dash updates or something. And the solution is I deleted the game that it installed, I turned off the internet connection, I let the game install from the disk, a good 20, 30 minutes or something like that. I mean, it's 40 gigs. And then I turned on the internet and let it download its thing. So that was, I got to play for like 20 minutes on Friday. And I only played because it's like I'd spent fucking hours getting the goddamn thing to run. Like, it was just annoying. But now that it is installed, it's kind of just what I wanted. It's like, except that I haven't unlocked the club feature of the game yet, which allows me to, to be honest, I'll probably just join the No Quarters Club and kind of compete against those guys. But
I was hoping that it would be like Road Rash style. You got a club.
Oh no!
And you could just beat people if you drove by them.
No. This is a game that, for me, I like exploring. I like exploration in games. That's part of the reason why I love the Bethesda games so much. And I like really fast games. So even though I'm not really a car fan, Forza Horizon has the exploring part where I can see lots of really cool scenery, and it has the speed part. So it's a lot of fun to me. Like the exploring part is mainly just looking around, and you'll run into these speed checks where you go a certain speed and it'll clock it at that location and then compare it to how fast your friends have gone through there, and it has a lot of leaderboard shit in it like that to compete on. You also get a lot of... Oh, sorry?
I was watching a quick look on it, and the thing that I noticed that stuck out the most, and I don't know that I'm going to pick it up because I don't love that exploration stuff and the driving. I have Burnout Paradise if I want to do that stuff. So I don't know that I'm going to buy it, but I was just thinking about how sick I was of the whole water getting on the screen thing. They did it on Vice City, and it was like, wow, look at this is so cool. And then everybody was doing it for no reason. But that car driving, when you get you're going down the beach or whatever, and that spray on the screen, it works, man.
Yeah.
It works.
This is a fucking pretty game. The water thing is awesome. I actually went into the dashboard camera for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes. Because of that water spray, I'm like, ooh, maybe I can get the full authentic feel. And then I went into it, I'm like, no, I really hate this mode.
Susie, come spray me with a water bottle.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, look for the beach. Come on, look at the fucking... There's a
God,
beach.
What are you doing?
I don't feel any spray.
You know what? Fuck it. Get out of here. You're not doing it right. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just sitting a big grin on your face.
Oh, man. That's awesome. But, yeah, so I guess the shtick on this Forza Horizon 3 is you're kind of building your own festival Which seems kind of like a conflict of interest to me, because you're building and you're competing in it. So, kind of like...
Yeah, you would... I mean, it definitely seems like a shtick shift from the previous one.
Yeah. But the customizations for the races and stuff I haven't really cared for much, but I got to make my own bucket list challenge recently, so that was neat. And then it asked me to email it to people, and I didn't.
So explain what that is for people who haven't played yet, because it's kind of a cool feature.
So bucket lists, they always have a whole lot of these, and they're just a random challenge in the game where they assign you a car and a goal to beat something, and it can be something like, hey, take this famous classic car and do a really long drift with it, or it can be, hey, take this truck and drive through a bunch of muddy terrain, or it can be, hey, drive off this cliff and get at least 300 feet of air,
Is this the Thelma and Louise bucket list?
Yeah. Sure. Except you live afterwards, because none of the cars blow up. Like, they get a little bit dented up, but it never impacts their driving.
Okay, so it's the Blues Brothers bucket list then.
Sure. Yes. Yeah. Because that car keeps working. Yeah. That works. Honestly, the bucket lists in the past, in Forza 2, I have never played the first one, was incredibly frustrating most of the time, so I kind of forced my way through the first bucket list. On this one, I think they're a lot easier to deal with.
More like frustrating, am I right?
No.
'Cause cars.
Yeah.
Almost.
And I gotta tell you, man, like, Australia was a good locale to pick for this game, too, because there's just a huge variety of environments and such to see, like, because you get your nice coastal city, you get your kind of plain neighborhoods, you get a good desert where they, as Giant Bomb was saying, they have a really long straight road that you can get really fast on. That's, taking a fucking Lamborghini over 200 miles per hour is pretty fun.
Dodging poisonous kangaroos and dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, that's not in the game, no.
Oh, no?
No. No.
I'm out.
No birds dying on the windshield either, so... They, get a bunch of generic European techno going, which I totally dig. But anyway, that's all I really got to say about it. I probably talked about it too long anyway, but I don't want to make anyone dead, just keep walking.
So in the spirit of bringing up your old series, because I don't have cable, Walking Dead Season 6 just hit Netflix. And... I posted a tweet about this, I want to say last night, maybe the night before, that, like, I was not into Walking Dead for a while. But I kept kind of watching it because it was like, all right, it's on Netflix, I'll throw it on and at least see if something happens. And then it was, nope, nothing happens. And I went, okay, I'm going back to my life. So I saw Season 6 was on there, and man, like, I'm really glad I stuck with it. Because although I hear... The last episode, this season finale for Season 6, it's balls, and there's some real heavy bullshit at the end. Like, some rad shit happens during this season, man.
It was okay.
I don't know. I loved it. I liked how they they had the whole where they were walking through the where they did the old thing that you would expect them to do all the time, which is cover themselves in zombie goop. Yeah. And they're walking through a horde of zombies. I think they snagged a moment from the Walking Dead game, the Telltale one, a season 2 of that, because like the same thing sort of happens in this one section, and they sort of foreshadow it. So if you played the games, you're like, oh, this fucking person, they are gonna do some real dumb shit. And then, like you'd expect, real dumb shit happens. But what's cool is, like, it didn't occur to me till last night that, like, aside from a couple people, this cast has turned over more than, like, the one on House. But they do a really good job of keeping you caring about the new gang, even if they're only around for 2 episodes. Like, I kind of like most of these people,
Yeah.
And I I
I'm
liked
kind of
that.
over that show personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I can still care about Rick. Like, I still haven't seen season 6 because like season 5 ended. I'm like, oh, they brought back that guy. Now he's super moral. Don't even kill the zombies. And so now we're gonna have another moral argument with Rick for a season. I'm not sure if I'm up for that.
Well, I'm like
They
the only
do-
one who actually likes Morgan. But
We did do some cool stuff with Morgan. They explain to you why he's like that, and while
I did like that episode.
well, that particular episode has a whole lot of like Deus Ex Machina. This stuff is way too convenient, but they gotta have it to move the story on. But like, if you can ignore that, like they actually have some honest to god character development in this season.
Yeah,
With
that's true.
with Rick, with all the people who live in Alexandria, with Morgan, with Michonne. Well, not as much Michonne. Dimebag in chat is asking if anyone's keeping up with Fear the Walking Dead. I won't see it unless it comes on Netflix. So
I watched the first season. I have not been keeping up with the second one though.
heard it doesn't progress very quickly.
The first season just sees them hanging out in a house for most of it, and then they run for the beach. I think.
It's really hard to stay excited about a TV show past a couple seasons. Like Breaking
talking
Bad has the perfect quantity of episodes in it, you know, and just no one else does that.
And you could tell though. You could tell that when they started that show, they intended to end it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of my beef with Walking Dead right now. It's like I don't think that any show has been so successful with so little plot.
Well, that's I guess that's why I was like, if you asked me this question a year ago, I would tell you, yes, you're totally right. I guess that's why I feel like season 6 is such a revelation, because like shit's constantly happening, and it's not just, you know, these guys against zombies, or, you know, here's 3 humans that are bad, we're gonna drag this out for 5 episodes. Like there's multiple groups of dickheads who are trying to tear them down, and like shit's happening all over the place. I think I said this. Daryl turns Alexandria into Cleveland at one point. Like I'm really liking it. I'm in like episode 9, but I will probably be finishing it this weekend because man, I'm ready to be disappointed, but I am really digging it right now.
Yeah, it starts back up in a few weeks.
If it sucks, I got Luke Cage. So
I thought it already started back up.
Nah, it's late October, I think.
Gotcha.
So, like, we have everybody come over, and it's like a weekly thing. Our friends all come over, and I make food, and we watch Walking Dead and stuff. So, I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not super enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
Everyone was so pissed about the ending of season 6.
I read about it, yeah.
well, because from what I understand, like
They leave a cliffhanger.
they leave it a cliffhanger, but they leave it a cliffhanger. Now, from what I understand, like I said, I haven't gotten it far yet, but they do this. They retcon one of their own things in like the same season, and it's some real bullshit. The way that they retcon it,
I didn't catch
the thing by the dumpster, where they're standing on the dumpster, and then whatever. We can talk after the call about it. You know what I'm talking about, trust me.
Okay.
Like, so after they retconned their own big holy shit event in the like two episodes later, like there was a character that you're led to believe is gone, and like they took the actor's name off the credits in the meantime, and then they're just like, nope, he's good. So sorry, the minor spoilers there.
Yeah,
but the whole fact that like they did that, and then they do some crazy
spoilers, man.
This crazy bullshit with Negan at the end, and it's like, he's gonna kill guy X, but which guy is it? And it's like, yeah, but you just told us 4 episodes ago that you're totally willing to retcon this stuff to make it not ever happen. So, like, I don't know.
That scene's ripped pretty much shot for shot from the graphic novels, from what I understand. And so it's very, very much clear who gets it in the novel, and so everybody's wondering if it's going to be him. And I'll admit that it is kind of a cop-out to leave that as a cliffhanger and then just go with what the novels did anyway.
But who knows if they'll do that? Like they've made some not huge changes to the way the graphic novels or the books are working.
We haven't lost. The reason I think they might change it is because we haven't lost any of the main people in like 3 or 4 seasons.
I was reading a funny.
Like who was the last main person that really got dead? Was it Herschel?
Does Tyrese count?
I was gonna say I was reading an awesome comment.
Yeah,
on this today.
he'd been around the longest at that point, I think.
That someone
the longest.
someone was
guy.
saying that T-Dog is a Time Lord, and that he's a black Time Lord because every time he dies, he regenerates into another black guy.
Damn it!
Made me laugh. But yeah, I think Tyrese was probably the last major one, at least where I'm at.
Yeah, but to even and I'm yeah, he had definitely been around a long time. He'd been around since the prison. And then I guess what's her name, the blonde girl. She got it.
Oh, I never liked her anyway.
Oh.
They decided to actually develop her as a character, just so they could make you care when they killed him.
Tyrese had a great death episode. I really like his death episode. Where they have that... So, spoilers for Season 4, I think. The bit where they have Tyrese sitting around, kind of just seeing all the old characters that died around him that he knew.
Yeah.
I really...
I have to go back and watch that. I just remember how he was put down.
I think that was 5, right? Because he didn't make it to Alexandria.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, but the Season 5, wasn't that the whole... Like, where they're at Terminus and stuff? Like,
Season
I think
5
they left...
starts... The finale of 4, I think, is them getting to Terminus, right? And then 5, the premiere, is them escaping.
Yeah, okay. It was 5.
Then they end up at Alexandria at the end of 5, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
6
so 4 would have been Tyrese. So yeah, it's been a good couple of years at this point. So I don't know. Whoever he ends up killing, I hope they keep it. But I'm sure I'll find out long before I get a chance to watch it. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, we walked and now we're dead. So we're gonna end this episode.
Oh, you thought mine were bad. Fuck you.
All of mine are bad. I never claimed to be. I mean, that's generally my goal, is to cause people pain. So
Stick shift. Get it? Because cars, and they changed the gimp. Go on.
So, visit the website, thecarouselpodcast.com. Send us emails at carouselpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our Twitter at carouselpodcast. Buy my music at musim, musim.bandcamp.com. Randy, where can we find you?
Oh, I'm about to burp. Go to Jake.
Jake, where can we find you?
The other Jay-Z on Twitter, that's JZEE. Anything else I do, I will probably link from there.
Okay, sorry about
You
that.
done puking? Okay.
No, yeah. What am I?
He gets so nervous when you make him talk about himself.
What's my tweets? Where
OSU
OSU Cobra. That's it. At OSU Cobra, and then Gifts of Man on PS4.
Yeah, go play some Destiny with Randy. He needs some.
Yeah, damn it.
He needs to get rated.
My actual friends won't.
Get a little density in his destiny.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, we'll see everyone next time. Bye.
Hi, guys.
Okay, so titles.
I've got 2. Let me stop recording real quick. Or do you want to record this part?
No,
Yeah,
we
we're-
put this up, remember?
Yeah, we record this.
Okay,
part.
yeah, title's great. We just ended the stream is all.
Well, no, we don't end the stream.
Nope, we didn't do that either.
What we do is we say bye for the podcast, and then we read the titles,
Okay.
and then we
So
end the
this
stream.
is-
So
This
We
is the
really
kind
should
of
have gone
stuff-
over this with you before we invited you on the show.
I don't know the format. No, so this is the kind of stuff that you get if you stick around in the live stream. You get all this good
yeah,
content.
yeah.
Well, you
I've got-
get it on the thing anyway. Okay.
I wrote down 2 titles, and they're both from pretty early in the episode. I
What
got
do you
Bob
got?
and Randy. And then the other one is Blood is Perfectly Good Stuff. Like that one.
Okay.
So I only wrote down #NotMyBatman.
That's a good one.
Which it's good. It's pretty good. I don't know. All right. Well, that's
To write
on
out
the,
hashtag.
You want to read yours, Jake?
that's on the short list. Max to the Max. The People Who Look Like Kids, which was funnier just because I was confused. The Randy Pug starring Randy. Xbox One Stupid. And then Ouroboros. BOAR. Ouroboros. Because it's like a fantasy thing eating itself. No. I think it's not my Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We're socially relevant.
I like it.
But can I make a request, though?
What?
I already made it, but I want you to hear it. You have to write out the words, #NotMyBatman.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Can I? All right, I'll compromise with you here. I will do that, but I'm not putting spaces between the words.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fine.
don't do that.
And then
Don't
for a
do
picture, you need to find a good screen cap from Bat Metal, and you can.
that.
Bat Metal. What is that?
It's a YouTube
What?
video. Oh my God! You have to load up Bat Metal right now. We don't have to continue the call. Well, we can stop the podcast, but you need to load up Bat Metal
So-
right now.
Bat Metal, actually, I think they use Death Clock songs, but
They did. They used Death Clock song, and there's two of them. There's Bat Metal and Bat Metal Returns.
yeah. So okay, well,
Yep,
thanks for.
This is Death Clock. All right, I'll work with this.
It's great. So find
Yeah.
a good screen from that. There you go.
Yep. No, I already got one.
Okay. Well, thank you for everyone for joining us live, and be sure and join us in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
All right. See ya.